Want to just go live, or should we set up things up for a second?
Oh, dude, I see myself eating already.
I know. Hello, universe.
Oh, no. All right.
All right.
We're
Well,
good
whatever.
for live.
We won't make you wait any longer. It's we're a little bit behind schedule, so we're here. You're seeing behind the scenes a little bit.
Mhm.
This is the new lighting experience. The
Wow.
treatment's not done yet, so it might sound like shit, but at least it looks pretty, right?
Dude, it sounds fine.
Here, if you can hear that, right? That echo.
Is mine any better?
Echo, a little bit. Yeah, you've got the carpeting and the big couch and
That's true.
all right.
A big old
So
request right there.
yeah,
I
let's
think.
see if I can find our submissions. It looks like we've got a pretty full queue today. Do we have people watching? I don't think anybody's watching yet.
Let me see.
If
Um,
you are, chat us.
nope. This is a big fat zero.
Hell yeah. I love to see it.
I love to see it.
All
We'll see
right.
the regulars soon.
Well, we're public but private.
Yeah,
So
I guess we could go ahead and name off the the queue
oh,
for
I thought you were gonna
today.
say because nobody's here, we can name off the worst showings of last week.
Oh, damn! Why? Yeah, that guy sucked.
Because it's usually what we do behind the scenes, right?
That's right. We talk shit about you every day.
Like, damn, these were all so bad today. I quit.
I think, dude, every time, every song.
Yeah,
No,
every
I think
song
the last one was Meadle. So
sounds right.
Giordano is first. Got Giordano Martinez. He's usually on YouTube. Then we got Yordnads. We got Kaiden Maldonado, K Suave, Rio, Lil High, Lauer, question mark, Zoxa. That's a weird spelling. Arinity, and then IDS Shire. I don't know. Id
Hmm.
Shire. It's like Ed Sheeran, but
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know. No idea. But yeah, we have 10 people in the queue. So uh, yeah, so if you guys have submissions, please submit. But 10 people is a pretty fat load. So I think we might have trouble getting through it
Yeah,
today. Why did I say that?
we will. That was interesting wording. We will. We will try our best today. Uh, looks like we've got somebody. It's starting to trickle in here.
No, it
Just
says,
getting stuff set up. Welcome to the stream. Let us know who you is if you're back.
looks like it's Stream Elements.
Does Stream Elements like show up as a viewer?
I don't know. But I also show up as a viewer, I think. So.
Interesting. All right. Well, if you are a person, chat us.
Yeah, say what's
And
up.
let's see. Let's get this pulled up.
Say what's up and give feedback on the music we're going to listen to.
Give feedback on our stream.
Or submit your own song. Oh, yeah, give feedback on our stream too. Does it suck? Are we too ugly? Let us know.
Well, we don't need people to tell us that to know that.
That's true. I'm beautiful.
You're not ugly. You just smell bad.
Oh, damn.
That
Would I
SpongeBob
rather be?
episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Um. Oh, dude, so many quotables from SpongeBob.
And then
Love it.
he's so happy when he figures out he just smells bad. He's not ugly.
Hey, Squid. I stay. Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yep.
it's coming back to me.
All right. Are we
Excuse me,
ready to
sir.
get
I
into
hope
it?
my. Yeah, sure. I was just about to
Oh, wait,
quote it.
what?
It's like the excuse me, sir. I hope my horrifyingly ugliness doesn't
Oh,
disturb your movie.
yeah.
Not at all, boy. That's like one of my favorite quotes growing up. I was trying to remember it.
That's great.
Okay, enough stalling.
All right. Which one? Do we know which one's first?
Yeah, Giordano.
Giordano. Holy
Oh,
shit. Oh, okay. Giordano Martinez.
Giordano.
Forever.
Yes, it's a work in
Says,
progress.
yeah, I think the title it says work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, he sent his artist profile. Okay.
Mm-mm.
He sent this to his Spotify Joe Rogan artist profile.
Wait, what? No, no,
You're,
I have a SoundCloud link.
yeah, but so he sent us his Spotify in a separate thing, but he sent us the song on SoundCloud. So I guess SoundCloud's like the testing grounds, and then Spotify is where you ship it to the masses.
Sounds about right. So he has a description with it. It says, "This is the first 5 minutes of what I plan to be a 15-minute song. Damn.
Damn.
To end my third album. Some influences are Damon Albarn from the Gorillaz, Steve Wilson from Porcupine Tree, and Tom York from Radiohead. Shouts out Tom
Nice.
York. Very talented, very nice voice. I love the
Somebody,
Gorillas too, but I don't know who's Damon. So. Sorry, what'd you say?
nothing. Should we get into it?
Yeah, I'm down. So, work in progress. It's supposed to be first 5 minutes of a 15-minute song. We'll keep that in mind. You'd love to help out our boy, friend of the stream, Giordano out. So, forever, first half, mix. You ready, Josh?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Maybe distortion on the piano.
I love how the soft piano is complemented by the hard crunches of Chris's PB&J.
Sorry. Sorry.
I hope the ship
Ooh, vocals.
can take the flag, moving through a loop that stacks. We missed
Up volume
the
down.
earth again, and now we've got
The whispering's a little bit
forever to spend.
like 9 Inch Nails.
The black of
A lot of sibilants, excuse me.
does have
Here it sounds fine, though.
quite a few. Maybe someday the orbit will bring me back to
That was cool. Pick it up here.
standing such
Whoa, a lot of distortion.
Jeez.
just one
Nice drum.
It's cool.
Beautiful.
Stereo. There we go.
Drums.
Yeah, that's nice.
The road goes through the sun. Let it try you on, see what you become. It may be fantasy, it's getting hard to tell these days. I love what could be, and my heart is
Ooh, love the drum works
so
there.
I'm coming down to earth.
It's gotta be real drums.
A retroactive kind of birth.
Cool.
It's a cool little stab to go along with the tom.
Yeah, very rhythmic. Staccato. Nice.
tuba. Oh, saxophone.
Interesting. There's a lot of low mid happening here.
Yeah. Hey, 935, let's go.
Hold it tight. But don't rub it away. We'll be under a sky any day, any day. Feel at home on your
There's some crazy stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Ambitious.
Yeah, those are. That's cool. Where'd the snare go?
Right? The snare sounded
It's
great.
like
and then
one
it's
hit.
gone. It was loud too.
Yeah. Made me think a rhythmic section was coming in, but no.
That drop. A lot of dissonance here. Kind of a piercing tone with those.
Yeah, those sound a
Winds.
little bit out of place to me. A little bit stock.
They do. Yeah, that's true. That was a movie.
Nice, yeah, that was a movie. That was
Okay.
actually. Oh shit! Something else is playing.
Same
That
as me.
was 7 minutes 45 seconds. That was more than 5 minutes. That was like.
Yeah, what the hell, Giordano?
but it actually didn't feel like it was that long. Maybe it's because I thought it was 5 minutes, but
Mhm.
it somehow didn't feel like super long. I mean, it also was the first one that we're doing, and like it was. But it obviously it's changing through the whole thing. So there's never a point where you're like, it's been the same thing for too long, because there was
No,
no
yeah.
same thing for very long.
I was definitely entertained throughout. 935, you're Jordan right? Let me know. Sorry. You can continue. Sorry, Josh.
I
I'm just
mean,
talking to the chat.
I
I
guess
think
just.
you're next, actually. So sorry. Anyways.
Oh shit. I guess just for like first impressions,
Mhm.
I think yeah, like definitely like a movie, like very cinematic. I thought that it had a very like sort of realness to almost all of the sounds and
Yeah.
recordings.
Mhm.
There's almost like this like three dimensionality about it, and there are like, I think it's sort of rare, but there are some songs like that where you just feel like you can like, I don't know, there's something that like jumps out sort of just like in the sonic like recordings, and I think it has to do with partly dynamics. Like when something is very dynamic, it makes it feel more three-dimensional than if it's like super brick walled.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've listened to David Bowie's like final album,
Mm.
his death record, Black Star.
No.
It's really cool, and there's a couple of songs like this that are, I think, like somewhere between 5 to 7 minutes
Hmm.
that also have this really cool, like, you know, sonic landscape that it paints that goes through these different motions, and the recordings sound really like natural. Like it's almost
Mm.
like when you record something and you sort of like don't do that much to it, like you kind of let it exist in its natural state. There's something so real and refreshing about that, especially
Yep,
these days. So
definitely got that from this too,
yeah,
especially
so
like the drums.
yeah, the drums were a big part of that, and the drums on Black Star are similar like that. There's a lot of like the little like intricate nuances, and they just sound very real and like not over compressed.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so I mean, overall, like I think the vibe was like this definitely has some level of professionalism to it that
Yep.
is rare to come by and interesting to listen to. But what are your first impressions?
Yeah, I thought it was ambitious. It was super unique compared to what we usually get. I could definitely see Bowie. Um, that kind of same vibe or descriptor. Um, there's a specific point. What is it? Around the 5 minute mark. I got it reminiscent a little bit of Daft Punk. Their Random Access Memories. If you remember the song "Touch,"
Hmm.
it kind of reminded me of that a little bit. The vocals were a little less clean than Touch. I remember Touch being very very clean, but I had like a very similar feel in that album in general. There's a lot of mixture of between synth and real instruments that they do, and I kind of got that vibe with this song. It was pretty sweet. There were some moments I think production wise that might be a little bit harsh to listen to. I mentioned near the end there the piercing winds at the higher frequencies. Josh had mentioned that they sound a little stuck, but also just like kind of a little sharp to the ear. Not sharp in the sense of pitch, but sharp as in just like a harsh frequency coming through. I felt a little bit of that in the whispers in the beginning too, but it seemed to correct itself. I don't know if it was different or if it was just me getting used to it, but that's the overall first impression. That was a movie, man. Like we get sometimes like 3 minute songs or two, God forbid, 2.5 minute songs that we get bored of already. But 7:45, like I was still pretty entertained. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, so
Yeah. Do you
good
want to
on
give
you.
it a score for vibes based on that? It's pretty much vibe stuff, right?
Yeah. Um, I think it passes the vibe check pretty well. I'd say like there's a couple of moments where I was like, "Oh, this is piercing. This could be, fixed up here on the engineering side a little bit." Um, maybe like 80% green between green
Yeah.
and yellow.
I would say the same. I would. I mean, just for a reason. Like we said, it's very cool. I think there's a couple of things in the other departments maybe that affect the vibe, right? Because the vibe is sort of like the wrapper. It's what like the encasement of the whole song, and that's affected by the things in it, sort of.
Hmm.
So content production often bleed into like how good the vibes are. Like you can have a great song that's like produced horribly and like the instrumentation is played wrong, and maybe like the vibe of the song is cool, but like that stuff takes away from how it feels to listen to. So
Yep.
that's just why it can happen like that. But yeah, 80% very good on vibes.
Hmm.
um Content, I mean, the one thing that I'm thinking of, and this sort of plays into vibes with content, is I thought there were a couple areas where it just felt like I wanted like a little bit more structure,
Hmm.
right? Like that, like we talked about that one part, maybe 2/3 of the way through or something somewhere around there,
Hmm.
where like earlier there was at least one point, maybe two, where like a rhythmic beat came in. It sort of like is a sense of resolve, right? Because when you're in this sort of amorphous chaos for a lot of the song, and
Yeah.
then you have
Like the album art.
yeah, yeah, sure. And then you have a rhythmic section. It really ties things together, right? Like
Hmm.
it sort of gives you context as to like where you are in the progression. It gives you like more of a steady like heartbeat to follow along with. It can work wonders when you have amorphous sections to have elements of structure. And,
Yep.
and so that was really refreshing before, but then you like had one snare hit. It was like a kick and a
At
snare
the
hit.
end, yeah.
Yeah, and
Around
then
six
and it
minutes.
was sounded like there was gonna be another like 2 bars later or 2 beats later or whatever, and there wasn't, and it just then like disappeared, and it was kind of like
Kind of died out.
off-putting. Yeah, it
Hmm.
was like, oh man, like I really wanted that sort of resolve. So That's the main thing for me. I mean, I think there's some other stuff in the production area that also maybe trickles up to content in a way.
Hmm.
But what are your thoughts on content?
Um, I can see what you mean by structure. Broadly speaking, I wasn't necessarily bored with anything, but I don't think I was necessarily gripped by anything too hard to really kind of follow what kind of message or what kind of story you want to tell with the song. But there were kind of standout moments, like Josh said, that rhythmic part with the toms that came in, and they're very dry sounding toms. At first, I was wondering if they were stock or electronic, but Josh was saying they sound very real. Um, so I don't know, like that part there, like Josh said, it was a highlight. Gave some structure to the song, and I'm just a rhythmic person, so I like when a rhythmic section comes in. But yeah, at most times I couldn't tell you what your lyrics were talking about the first listen, and you know, I might not be too important for the
That's
kind of
one
genre
thing
you're
I
going
was
for.
saying ties into production, but I'll go
Mm.
into that later.
That's just like listening first time through, I didn't get much of a story of the entire song. A lot of the impression that I had was like, oh, this is like a cool kind of atmospheric effect that he's doing, like all this playing around with stereo like noises, like it reminded me of like a Halo soundtrack a little bit. And I always say that. I forgot someone else told me recently that I always say it reminds me of Halo. Maybe it was the fast track chat, but like when the flood, you're playing in a flood level and there's like
Yeah,
different,
yeah, that was
you know,
last week, I think.
yeah. I don't know, like so my impression was it was more like just oh that's a cool noise here and there. It's a kind of cool landscape you're setting up, but I just don't know what the main characters are doing in that landscape. It's just yeah, that's the kind of vibe that I got from it. So um, that's a broad speaking of content. I guess the sample choice is kind of content as well. That it's also kind of production. I do agree with Josh. I heard a lot of dryness, whether it was the real drums or not. Because when I was listening to the tom, it felt like it was a tom sample, and it was like the same exact sample. Like it wasn't like changed in any sort of way between tom hits. That's
Could
why I was
be.
like, it sounded a little bit inorganic. It did sound dry. The dryness kind of worked. Like I don't know. It was a little bit more believable than the flutes at the end. I think the flutes sounded pretty stock. And if I were to make some changes, I would make both of them sound a little bit more organic. Whether it's putting in some processing, uh, maybe blend it with a reverb, something like that, with the rest of the track. But yeah, that's the kind of content score that I have. So
What was your
that
score?
things, yeah, I'm trying to sum it up all here. um, hmm,
I mean, I would give it probably like 70% between yellow and green because I think so much of your content is so good. Like this is a
yeah.
over seven, almost 8 minute song right now, and there's a
Mhm.
lot in here that's going well for
Yeah,
you.
that's true. There's a
So
lot. There's a lot of stuff to like for sure. I'm trying to think what I would score it. That sounds about right. Yeah, maybe 65, 70 between
sure.
green and yellow. Um, go off, Josh. Go off, King. This is it.
All
Production.
right. I mean, most of the issues I had, I think, like always, some of it is um, if there are production problems, they can often mask content and vibes, like we
Yep.
sort of talked about. So
Yep.
I couldn't really get your lyrical content because, like a lot of things in the mix, there's a lot
Mm,
of mud going on here. So
yeah.
there's just a ton of buildup in the low end and the low mids. I would say that like the overall mix or the master, like it's the balance is kind of okay. I've definitely seen worse, right? It's not like your bass is like jumping out at super loud volumes. It's just that like everything is is like high is like low passed in and like sitting in that low range or the low mids. There's not much separation between things like your vocals, even though they sound very like real and natural and like unprocessed sort of. Um, they're so muddy, right? Like we couldn't make out your lyrics because your vocals are so muddy, and a lot of the other stuff was too. So, I mean, that's like really the main thing. And then I actually think the whispers, they were like a little bit loud, but I think sometimes in these more like abstract pieces where you have those kind of elements and you're doing a lot of like layering and it's sort of like supposed to be kind of hectic,
Mhm.
that can be used to an effect. And I was thinking of like Nine Inch Nails again with that, where like in Hurt, that dude, that song hurts your ears. Like
Oh.
that song uses all like the whisper stuff and the vocal tone and then just like other stabs and things that it really is like so painful to listen to. And there's this stab towards the end, like you're lulled into this sort of like rest state for like a lot of the song, and then right towards the end there's this super unexpected loud stab that makes your ears fucking bleed.
Mhm.
And I always like when I listen to that, I would like get mad at it, but be like, damn, like that's such a, they're like jumping out of the speakers to like send the message of the song to you, sort of,
Hmm.
right? Which is like you don't hear that in a lot of stuff. And I think that's also what's oh fuck, what's his name from Nine Inch Nails?
I don't know.
Trevor.
Trevor.
I'm
Kyle. Sounds like a Kyle move.
Kyle. No. It's such an obvious name. I don't know why I'm forgetting it right now.
I'll look it up. Let's see.
Trent
Trevor.
Reznor, right?
Trent Reznor. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he's like a sound design guy. Like he's
Mhm.
really fucking knowledgeable about that stuff. But anyways, like the whispers, I don't have as much of a problem with. I think it's more that just that that's the only thing in that area with like a bunch of high frequency and high mids content, and it seems out of place because everything else is way on the other end of the spectrum in the lows.
Mhm.
Same with that like flute thing at the end. I did think it was a little bit like stock sounding. Like I think I've played around with sounds by accident that sound exactly like that. You know what I mean? Like you're just scrolling through a patch list and you play something. You're like, that's kind of fun to play, but it doesn't sound like produced or production ready.
Mhm.
And also just because again, an element with a bunch of high end in a sea of blanketed sort of low pass stuff. I don't necessarily even think that if the other stuff had more of the similar high end feel, that I think that would probably be an okay amount of high end, regardless of the timbre.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, for me, it's mainly that. I think it's like you've got a lot of clashing going on. The distinction between instruments is not great. Um,
The saxophone, especially, what came in. It was playing at
oh
a
yeah,
very, very low register.
very. I think it was partly just like again the recording and EQing of it.
Mm.
It could. It's probably both, but it was unbelievably.
Dude, it literally sounded like a tuba to me in the beginning. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
"What is going on here?"
It was a little bit honky, but also it was just like amazingly muddy.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, and that's a saxophone. Like, how
Mhm.
do you even do that?
Yeah, dude, saxophone's like breathy as fuck, right? Like,
Yeah.
unless it's like
So
a baritone, but I don't know. Like,
right. So I would just say like production for me is probably a 40%.
yeah, I could see that. I think I'd run along for that score. Um, Giving it overall like a 60% between green and yellow, maybe a little higher,
You said
65.
60?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I think it's a good like framework, and you said you're not even done with the full arrangement yet. So
Mhm.
it's definitely a good framework. There's a lot going well here, but if you want it to be like the masterpiece that you're probably trying to make it, um, one thing I remember is that like long form songs almost always have distinct sections that are, and you're not repeating things, which is cool, but um, like the sections aren't super different from each other. And a lot of that is like if you can put some tempo changes in there, that would help. If you can, I mean, overall, just make things more listenable so we can discern between the parts that are actually going on because it's a little bit soupy right now. So,
Giordano's here.
hey,
Let's go.
holy
We
shit!
just reviewed your song.
Uh,
Feel free to play it back and stuff. It was
yes,
crazy, man.
yeah, no, we're on the final ring here, but yeah, this is super cool. Looking forward to hearing the rest of the track. You lied. You
And
said
the
it
whole
was
album.
5 minutes, 7:45, but we didn't even realize that it was 7:45. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's got a lot going for it. But
Super interesting, super ambitious. There's a lot to love in it, but we had a couple comments on what to improve. So love to hear what you think. Yeah.
cool. You have any other comments, or should we move to the next?
No, I'm good. But Yortnads, who's next, says, "What makes you choose a purple for a top tier track?" Oh wait, no. What made you choose purple? Never mind. I thought I took that as a different question. So I think he's asking more so why the color purple
Yeah.
versus
Well,
like what makes it purple.
as you can see, the rest of the overlay is purple.
Mhm.
It's just our color scheme. Purple is kind of our color. Some research did go into this color
Yeah,
choice.
dude, it's like
It's
insane amounts of research.
it's a mix of, if you look up color theory, it's pretty much a mix of the blue and red meanings and sort of the key being balance between the two.
Mhm.
But also there's some associations with purple itself that are, kind of relevant. So
Mhm.
uh, the goal is helping people make their music better, reach more fans, create careers for themselves, and a lot of that requires being sort of very balanced in the approach that you take between all the different elements, and that's what FastTrack is trying to do. So
So color theory is means purple equal balance.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, think about it. Like red is hot, blue is cold, in the middle is purple. So
I see.
yes,
I see.
yeah, they're kind of opposites.
Shit.
All
Looks like
right.
a lot of companies, by the way, are following the same purple recently.
Yeah, it's so
It seems
colors.
like everything we follow is like purple.
Yeah, there are usually like color trends that sort of, come in and out. A couple years ago, it was like that lime green, right? Like there are a lot of companies doing that. Shure, the microphone manufacturer, duh. There's a Shure in the fucking shot here.
Let go.
Yeah. When I was there in 2018, 2019, they changed their logo to being lime green. For the past 50 years, it was white and black. So like they hopped on the train.
Kind of an L. Yeah.
It was around the time that like Billie Eilish made her hair fucking lime green. It was everywhere. Like it was lime green was everywhere in like 2017 to 2019. And then like 2020, 2021, there's been a lot of purple. So
Hmm.
also lime green and purple are kind of weird complementary opposites, kind of like the pimp colors.
Pimp. Let's go. That is true.
Yeah.
Some outcast shit. All right.
All
Your
right.
dad. Your song is up. You
You're
have a
up.
description. A DMB type melodic song. Alrighty. It is a finished release. It's called Dan's Horizon. Who is this Dan? Tell us more. But you ready, Josh?
I am ready.
All right, Dan's Horizon. Yortnads 935 5 4 3 2. Oh shit! I got hit by an ad. All right, I'm good. I'm good. Ooh, beat up already?
I have a keyboard underneath my desk, and I realized I'm trying to play along.
What?
I was just like on autopilot trying to play along with that keyboard. Nice tempo changes. I kind of like that dissonance between the melody and the chords.
Whoa, what?
Unexpected.
Very Halloween type song. It's more of a club banger.
I wish that snare was a little louder. The lead is much louder.
Gonna build up here. I want those risers to be a little bit more impactful.
Yeah.
That white noise.
Nice.
Yeah, when that beat comes in, everything sounds solid, but
I know.
transition to it.
Yeah, those drums sound good.
Yeah.
That's fast. 300 BPM. It's like the barbershop pull. It gets faster and faster, and then it's slow, and then like
Yeah, was that a smooth transition?
yeah. Wow,
Love the ending chord there.
that was fun.
Yeah, what? That was crazy. Oh shit! Damn it.
Yeah, same here.
Oh shit! I just got autoplayed by something, and I really kind of like that sound. I'm gonna save that for
Save
later.
that.
Yeah, try
All
to open
right.
it.
Let's try to just go through the categories, I guess, because
Do it.
same thing.
Do it.
Vibes. I liked it a lot. Actually, I want to hear yours first,
This
Chris.
sounds like a fucking like Euro club song more than a DMB to me.
Mm,
It sounds like that kick is more 4 on the 4, like doom 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 doom,
yeah,
more than like a boom pss, which is like more DMB to me.
true, true.
Um, I hear some of the breaks up in the very high frequency register, but they're not really coming through. So that's why I feel like it's more just a club banger, which
Yeah,
is fine. Um, yeah, the BPM switches were uh, kind of thrown about a little bit loosely, but um, it was intriguing to listen to. Um, Melody was catchy. I won't lie though, I did get bored of it like just about near the end. So you kept me interested just about until 3 minutes 15. So
that
majority of the song.
melody, that melody repeated a lot,
Yeah.
right?
But I mean, you did a lot to kind of divert my attention away from it. But then near the end, I was like, okay, it's the same melody. There's not really much there. It's a cool melody by itself, but yeah. Um, but I think the drums sounded very solid, especially like when the loud ones come in. They fade in. They just make everything sound super solid. I think the in between sections could possibly use a little bit of work and just trying to filling out to have a bigger sound to match that of the drums. But yeah, overall it was pretty decent. What do you think, Josh?
Man, you're jiggling there.
Sorry,
Your camera's like.
I'm moving the whole
Sorry, I was
fucking.
distracted.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just trying to think of like sort of top level suggestions. Sort of, I did. There was a lot of really smooth transitioning between like your tempos and like going into beats and stuff. Like cool automations with volume and obviously speed. Um,
I think when the drums were like even like a fade in like that, they sounded really good. Um,
yeah, they did.
There was some like with the risers that I'd like to be a little bit more impactful, but I'll let you continue. Sorry.
Yeah, so uh, that was great. I sort of agree. I felt like it. Maybe it's supposed to be because you said it's sort of like a thank you song to the guy that made your banner. I think.
Wait, what?
Um,
What? Where'd you
yeah,
see that?
he wrote that in the chat before we started. I think.
Oh shit.
Um, yeah, so I could see it being being making sense for that. It's like a little bit like goofy sort of because the tempo changes are so often they go so fast that it's almost like Russian like polka or something. You know what I mean? Like there's a little bit of
Bro.
like a and maybe that's with the melody too, like the way it sort of
Bum,
circles
bum,
around
bum,
up
bum,
high.
bum.
There's sort
Mhm,
of a goofiness to that along with the fast tempo.
mhm,
But
mhm,
if that's what you're going for, that's cool. I think it could be a little bit shorter, also for the purpose. Like I think between 2.5 and 3 minutes would probably be the sweet spot for this kind of thing.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, I mean vibes. I would give it like a 65% between yellow and green.
True, true. Yeah. Sorry, I was just reading the chat. Yeah, Toad Milk. We have a form for a reason. So if you could submit,
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. If not, it's all up to you, man.
yeah. We
Uh,
we have more than enough submissions, so if you don't want feedback, it's all good.
and
Free
we love.
feedback.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your music, man. But we just take like a long time, so we want people to be here and stuff
We
like
go
that.
in deep.
Yeah, we do go in deep. So speaking of which, yeah, with the comments that I said before with vibes, um, Yeah, it did feel a little bit goofy with the ppm kind of thrown about everywhere. It was interesting, but it just felt a little bit tokeny near the end. Um, just throw it to throw it, and I don't know. But we can talk about it production wise. Maybe you have a little bit more. It just sounded like, especially when the drums were gone, like that the sound just wasn't as big as like a finished master song could be.
Yeah,
So, especially in the electronic sector, like they tend to kind of make use of the maximum that you can with their stereo space and your frequency kind of spectrum, and then at the end just kind of brick wall it, for lack of a better term. There's a good way to do it, but not too much. But yeah, maybe here it could use a little bit more, just in this kind of genre of music. So vibes for me, because of that, I could say 60% between yellow and green. Um, so yeah, we can move on to content. What do you think, Josh?
um, yeah, content. I mean, I think we sort of already touched on it, honestly. Like, just with the
Hey, Toe Milk submitted. Let's go. Sorry,
let's
continue.
go. Um, yeah, like
Last week.
that's like the duration, right? So I think it could. I don't think it benefits from being longer. I think it would be like better, more concise, right? Like when you're writing something. Um, the conciseness. I think the lead. I get. Yeah, I guess this is sort of a sound choice type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't love all of the leads
Mm-hmm.
that were used. Um, this also, I'm just. It's hard to separate these things always. So I think the lead was too loud compared to the rest of the mix in a lot of points. Yeah,
Okay.
and they're like, if I really focused on it, I was trying to figure out like, why does this maybe not sound like super like finished, done, mastered?
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of it was the volume difference there, when like the rest of your track is here, and everything's mixed well together there, and then you've got this lead that's like just up over top, and it's kind of in your face.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could sit a little bit better in the mix.
Yep.
And weirdly, it sounded like the snare was hard to hear when the lead was happening. So I don't know if the lead was being sidechained to the rest of
Mm-hmm.
the mix, and it's like ducking something that you don't want to duck, with being the snare, right? If
Definitely
anything, the
not. Yeah.
snare should be sidechained to other stuff.
Yep.
The snare should be sidechained through the lead, maybe, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or just like don't have those fuck with each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if that's not the case, I mean, I think just turning the leads down a little bit could like even things out a little bit more. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have much else other than that. I mean, for content, I would give it again probably like a 65, 70%.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just because like it's fine the way it is, and there's some really cool stuff that's happening with the arrangement, whatever, but it needs to be a little bit more concise for what it is. And the main thing, like the lead, could be improved to sound a little bit more like appealing, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, and it just in general the melody just gets a little repetitive.
Right,
Um,
that's something too.
so yeah, I can agree with a lot of what you said there. Try to see if I can have any other comments. Um, no, sorry. I mean, I already talked about it as well. Like the kind of, I mean, I read your description and it said DMB type song, and then I said that it doesn't really sound like a DMB song. I don't know if that really knocks it. It just like has a different perception between you and I. So I don't know if
Sure.
you like, for example, this is a thank you song, right? And it's for this person. So if this person was like, "Hey, can you make me a DMB song?" and then you gave him this, then I'd be like, "Oh, okay, so you should probably work on it to make it like a DMB song, make the breaks a little more present, make sure that the snare is kind of got its own oomph, and like it's just not a four on the floor bass house, kind of Euro club banger." But if it's not, if it's just like a thank you song for him, like or her, then yeah, it's like a decent, like its own genre, whatever. But yeah, so I would just say kind of don't just throw in BPM switches here and there kind of randomly. Like in the beginning, like you hit it with a slow down and a speed up, so it's like once I hear that again, it's not too like captivating. It just kind of feels like it's just thrown in there for no reason. Like there,
Yeah.
especially in like a dance type song, it's like if people are dancing to it and like jamming out and kind of tuning out, and then the
Right.
tempo switches, it's like I'm gonna leave the dance floor.
Awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Um,
But yeah,
I agree with that. I think it's even like a little bit. It's like if you're on a roller coaster and the speed changes too much, it's kind of nauseating. So that
yeah,
might be one way to think about it.
and
But it'll
like
also lose its effect.
yeah, and like so I don't like a tempo change to happen too often in a song, and if it does, I feel like it has to be serving as a transition point to like a significantly different part of a song. And instead, near the end, it's just literally like the same melody and the same kind of song. So, like, I thought it would be really cool if you made it go super fast and it was just like a fucking super distorted, like just going super hard. Like first you're just like kind of clubbing in the Euro club, and then people start moshing, and then you would play it faster and more distorted. Like that's something that I was kind of expecting, and I didn't really get. Or maybe even sort of make like a hard style switch up, like dong 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 dong, something going crazy. But that's a suggestion. This is a finished release, so yeah. Overall content, I could say probably like 50-50 between yellow and green. Um, for what it is, a thank you song, like that's cool. You made a song for that person. That's awesome.
Yeah,
But and it's a decent, layout. It's just on the charts, like I would be like, this song is getting kind of boring. I don't know if I'd listen to it again. So
sure.
um finally production. Josh, anything?
I don't have much other than what I said about the lead level and or making sure that snare is still poking through.
Hmm.
Maybe even changing the volume of the snare just a little bit.
Hmm.
But
Louder, right? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, other than that, like there's a lot of sections where, like we said, your drums sound great
Yeah.
and everything pretty much sounds great. So
Mm.
yeah, I would say just try dealing with that one or two
Hmm.
small issues, and I think it's pretty good honestly in terms of the production.
I think I talked about it a couple times actually. The risers could definitely benefit from not being down the middle. So when I was listening to the risers, um, and risers are typically used as a transition, and you used it both when the drums came in and also in transitions when there weren't any drums. And when the drums came in and they're fading in with the volume, I think they helped save you because their transition. I don't know what you did to them, but they just sound really good. So good job. Um, but yeah, otherwise, I could like definitely pinpoint like, oh, this riser it doesn't sound very big. It should be like a mist that's surrounding me as like a buildup's about to happen or something, but it feels like a little like water gun sprayer that you get at Disney World. So like instead, I want it to be like more enveloping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, part of that might also be that those risers were sometimes false, so they didn't
Mm.
always lead to a drop, right? They didn't always lead to a heavy instrumental element like
Hmm.
big drums, and that also makes you think like, well, that wasn't really worth it, right?
Yeah,
Even
it's
if
like
it might be different if you had something on the tail end of that riser, we might not think as much those were super thin, but I could see both sides of that.
yeah. I don't know. Just like in general, if it's like an atmospheric part of it, I'd want it to be a little bit more big sounding, a little bit more outside of the middle, like more on the surrounding of the
Yeah,
mix. So I would put like a stereo delay on it, push it outside. Um, but yeah, and also just a little louder. Like it just didn't make the transitions as epic as I wanted them to be. So, but yeah, all of that to say, the rest of the production was decent. The drums were, pretty much fantastic, with the exception for the snare. Um, it's like 70% between green and yellow.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would give it. I'd say the same, maybe
Hmm.
even 75% on production. I
Yep.
think most of it is impressive.
Hmm.
Um,
Overall score, I think I'm at 70.
yeah, I'll say 72.
Yeah, it's decent. Good job,
Cool.
your Nads. Nice to see you again. 9:35. All right, who do we got next? So we got a couple people that submitted just now. Toad Milk and Blastique. We did mention that we kind of go in, and you guys probably saw it, a little deep on every song. That's kind of our differentiator. So that being said, we have a queue built up from last week, and that queue right now it's Kaiden, Maldonado, K Suave, Rio, Lil High, Lauer, Zaxa, Arinity, Id Sheer, Jordanad's again,
Whew.
uh, Carl Birkin, then Toad Milk and Blastique. So Toad Milk and Blastique, you guys are sitting in 11 and 12. Uh, we usually get through um, like 6 songs a week, maybe 7 if we push it. So you guys are probably not going to be getting to. You guys are, more than welcome to stay and chat it up and like listen to some new music and stuff. But if not, like, if we don't want to like give false expectations. So if you submit it with us, we will definitely get to your song and we'll definitely listen to it and give you a review. And if you gave us your email address, like we'll let you even know like when we're streaming and stuff when it's your song. So, um, yeah. That being said, feel free to stay. Feel free to go. It's up to you. We just don't want to give you any false expectations. But yeah. With that, we'll go to Kaiden Maldonado next, which is Locked Up. Um,
Damn, we got some kind of rudeness going on here.
what happened? There's a reason you have 3 viewers, Lil. I'm not waiting 8 hours. See ya. All right, later.
We usually have more. We started late today, but
Yeah.
and we haven't done any advertising because we're kind of trying to get less people to submit. We
Nah, I mean,
basically
we always
haven't
want.
like. I mean, every week we have like basically promotional stuff lined up that we never use because we already have too many submissions. And this is an issue that we're trying to work on with the number of submissions that we can get through and like the time frame for that and just the sheer number. There's a reason why we have so many submissions, and it's because it's a thing of value, right? Like getting feedback on your music and it getting a second perspective, and especially when we spend like 15% on each one.
15 minutes.
15, 15 minutes on each track. So like, once we do your song, right, it's going to be hard to find more valuable in-depth feedback easily and for free anywhere else.
Yeah.
So that's why there's a lot of demand here. Despite
Yeah.
today is just a lower number of concurrent viewers.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason why a lot of those people aren't necessarily here right now is because they submitted last week or the week before. And so we're working on trying to figure out a way for people who really, really want their feedback to be reviewed now, right? Like I want the service and I want it now. And it probably will involve some sort of queue management system. And if you really want to be reviewed this second, then you can pay like $5 or something like that. That's the only way to do it, because again, it's like you guys are here because you want a service from us, and we understand that you're frustrated that you have to wait for it.
Yeah.
But we are trying to deliver some value. So
yeah, and we appreciate it. I mean, at the same time, like we don't have to what is it? We'd have to entertain people that are just like haters, so it's fine. But I do think we, before when we had very low amounts of viewers and low amounts of submissions, the form of like 15 minutes of review is great, but the fact that it's working and there's more people that want submissions, like we should probably tailor our like way of reviewing to maybe facilitate that. I see some stuff in the chat saying, "Why don't you review the people that are here?" That's probably a pretty good idea if we can try to be like, "Hey, like who's here?" But at
it's
the same
possible,
time,
but yeah, the problem is that
we want to
anybody,
get to everybody,
right, like the people who aren't here are probably people that submitted last week or even before.
Yep.
And so if every week we only reviewed the people who are here, then if there's already 5 or 6 people in the queue and you're here now, then you're never going to get reviewed ever, because like you would just have to resubmit, and then we'd have this queue of stuff that's like lost songs, right? It would be a mess. So we just have to go in order of like first come, first served. So yeah, maybe like you check our stream the next week and we review your song, right? But we're still doing it for free. And if you want it now, there will hopefully be a way to do that. So
yeah, thank you for the feedback though. Like we do, like it's a blessing to be in this position. So we appreciate everybody submitting.
Yeah,
But
and
let's get back to the reviews, dude. Like
yeah,
or else we're not gonna get to songs.
yeah. So let's also try to go through these quicker. So
Yeah.
I guess try to just focus on keeping things as concise as possible.
Let's do it. All right. That being said, Kaiden Maldonado, we got Locked Up. It's a work in progress.
Kayla, we do get to everyone actually.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, that's again part of the whole point, is that if you want feedback, we give it to you.
All right. So work in progress. I just made this. I've been experimenting with my vocals. All right. Locked Up. Kaiden Maldonado. Let's hit it up.
Kaiden. Oh, this is Locked Up.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah. Let's see. All right.
All right. Locked Up. Kaiden Maldonado. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful instrumental.
Yeah, locked up, I'm locked up, locked up.
It's like Kid Leroy type.
Oh no, 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 no.
tinny though, maybe.
Yeah, escape. Sipping on these bottles, maybe I feel numb. Fighting with myself, maybe I should just be done. I don't even know, am I
A lot of
smart or
bass.
am I dumb? Every other second I be triggered like a gun. All these memories stuck up in my head. I don't wanna think you, please put me to bed. Oh, bed, nah. Locked up inside my head, I can't escape. Yeah, escape.
It's that emo hip hop tip.
Sipping on these bottles, maybe I feel numb. Fighting with myself, maybe I should just be done. I don't even know, am I
It's pretty
smart or
catchy,
am
though.
I dumb? Every other second I be triggered like a gun. All these memories stuck up in my head. I don't wanna think you, please
There's a lot of bass.
Oh, bed, nah.
That's pretty enjoying to listen to, though.
Yeah, I like it. It's chill.
I have a soft spot for that emo, fucking just screamo type shit, but it's not
Sure.
screamo, but you know.
It gave me a little bit of a maybe not a lot, a little bit of like a Dominic Fike vibe.
Yeah, for sure. I could hear that. I was saying like Kid Leroy, um, especially with like his added vocal fry and emotion, like doing stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I even hear him doing like a little vibrato. I don't know if it's with his voice or with like the actual autotune that he's trying to change, but yeah, that was cool. Locked up. Kaiden Maldonado. Let him know what you think in the chat. First impressions. We kind of went through it, but Josh, do you have anything else to say about it?
Not really. I mean, it's pretty short and to the point. What is this? Wow, less than 2 minutes, 150.
There you
So-
go. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's we kind of already talked about it, but it definitely nice vibes. Kind of reminds me of that laid back like Dominic Fike or Kid Leroy
Mhm.
thing. I would give it pretty much green on the vibes. I would say I don't really have anything to detract
Mhm.
much. I maybe would honestly like if it was a little bit longer and there was a little bit more to it.
Mhm.
It's very short, and I sort of feel like I need to listen to it again to really get more out of it. But nothing wrong with it in my eyes, my ears.
Yeah, it feels like it's just like an in between song on an album, perhaps, or just like a SoundCloud rapper just dropping something. So maybe that's what you are.
Yeah,
But,
definitely like that.
yeah, from what I'm hearing though, it sounds pretty decent. After a while, I did, uh, hearing that your description's working on vocals. I do think that your vocals are lacking a little bit in the lower register, um, just like frequency rise. Maybe uh, push that low cut filter a little bit further down. Let some more lower frequencies in because it seems just a little bit tinny at this point. But overall, man, it sounds really decent. I love the emo hip hop type shit. There's always like a time of the week for that, so I appreciate it. Yeah, I would say vibes is pretty much like 85 percent between green and yellow. Content, what do you think, Josh?
I mean, again, this one I kind of talked about already. Like, I think I would like if it was a little bit longer, but your like sound choices and the recording and all of that stuff, I think fit. I guess one thing this could maybe feed into vibes too. I don't know if it was like super unique, right?
Yeah.
It definitely felt like a lot like a decent amount of stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but I think that like most of the people that are your influences that you really like, uh, are influential or famous because they were unique when they came out with their thing
Yep.
for the most part, right? And you can find people who are already established who have
Mhm.
stuff that sounds like everyone else, and people still eat it up because they already have giant fan bases, right? So
Mhm.
not every new Drake song is going to be groundbreaking, but when these people come
right.
on the scene, there's always something unique about them that is different from prior people. And like if you ask them who their influences are, oftentimes it's really unexpected shit,
Yeah.
right? And they do not sound exactly like, they almost never sound anything like their influences actually.
Mhm.
You'd be like, damn, I never really would have thought those two like sound super similar. Maybe they're the same genre,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's one thing I would like to hear. Like if you can add a little bit of your own thing into it more, that would be cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, that's sort of vibes, but I think like content is related to that. I would give it Maybe like a 70% between yellow and green.
I see that. I was gonna say too. This sounds like it's on like on top of a type beat too. I don't think he's the one that produced it. And in terms of like the beat itself doesn't really add much in terms of like it's a good beat, it's a beautiful melody, but there's not really like much of a journey to follow. Again, it's only 1 minute 50 seconds. There's only kind of one motif that's happening. Not much, you know, big struck. It's like if it's a roller coaster, this is like a kiddie ride. Oops, shit. It's there's no big highs or lows or anything super exciting. It's just kind of up and down, like verse, chorus, verse, chorus. It sounds like Kid Leroy. Okay, but that being said, like I don't know how far you are into this game, but I feel like you're working on your vocals. Like you're probably just a beginning artist. Like um, I could hear the talent, man. I could hear the emotion that you have in your vocal delivery. It doesn't sound bad. It sounds pretty decent. But it just sounds derivative, and I think the more music that you do, you'll start to develop your own sound. So uh, that, or if you're a guy that's been in the industry for 10 years, like you might want to take a look at yourself if you're copying people a little too much. But all that being said, I could see Josh's score being like around a 70. So production, what do you think?
Um, this one, so it's interesting you said about like tinniness.
Hmm.
My main thing was I felt maybe it was just more like mid scooped,
Hmm.
right? So I did hear a lot of or a decent amount of like low end
Hmm.
content, but then I could also hear like there was more in that upper range.
Hmm.
So I think it was maybe there was just something missing in the mid range, and it felt a
Yeah,
little bit hollow, a little bit like unsettling almost.
hollow.
So
Yeah, for sure.
that's the main thing. I think like overall, again, your sound sources and recordings sound fine to me. So I would probably give it like a six. Well, I'd probably give it again like a 70% on
Hmm.
production.
Hmm. What would you fix for there? Just like find an EQ band that has a little bit more of the body, like what around
Yeah.
1K, 2K, or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean I can't really tell if it's an issue like on the master bus
Hmm.
or if it's with the individual instruments. And again, like this could come down to like a room correction type thing.
Hmm.
Uh, but I would say like you could try adding a little bit more presence into the vocal,
Hmm.
but some of that backing stuff probably also needs it. It sounds a little bit hollow. So
Just in
yeah,
general.
yeah, like maybe if you made some move on the master bus that's removing a lot of that mid content,
Mm.
give some of it back, like decrease that move a little bit.
Mm.
But otherwise, you could just go into individual instruments and try to brighten them up in the mid range a little bit. Like maybe even a little bit of saturation could help a few things.
Mm.
Sometimes that helps with hollowness.
That's true. Yeah, and the I do agree. Like with the master bus, the bass and the beat was just pretty heavy. Maybe that was kind of overshadowing everything, giving it a little hollow sense. But yeah, I have a similar uh, understanding with Josh. Um, 75 between green and yellow, for a total of about 70 between green and yellow. It's pretty
Yeah,
good, catchy.
yeah, I would say about the same. I honestly, I would probably say 65. And the reason why I say that is because I still wish there was more kind of uniqueness to it.
Hmm.
I think without that, it's like sort of just another needle in the haystack. But yeah, I
Hmm.
definitely would. It would be nice to have a little bit more personality in it, and maybe a little bit more content, a little bit more length. But yeah,
I see what you're
overall,
saying.
it's a solid foundation, as we sometimes
Mhm.
say.
It is a solid foundation. I agree. Keep on keeping on, Kaiden. Thanks for sending it in. There's a bunch of slow tracks. Sorry, had to. Love it. All right, so we have the next one is how to read some of the chat. We have Kate Suave, friend of the stream as usual. He actually was starting to be like, "Yo, I'll cash app you right now to play my song." So
Well, you told us to.
yeah, maybe we'll take that up. But yeah, he's up now. He might be at work right now. He usually does on Fridays, but his song is called "Shot Your Love." It is a finished release. He indeed sent us the Spotify link. It says highest stream song off of my most recent project, "Reckless Romantic." Crazy. Okay. Um, "Reckless Romantic." Let's see. Highest stream song. Um, oh fuck, I might have lost track of it. What was it? "Shot Your Love." All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, Shot Your Love, K Suave. 3, 2, 1.
Call the police on me. I committed a first degree. I said I'd be home by
Hey, yo,
3,
Quantic,
but I
run them
shot
bands
your
up.
love.
Cow data.
Call the police on me. I committed a first degree. I said I'd be home by 3, but I shot your love. I'm running the road nightly. You said it's best when I'm all alone, and I agree. I'm calling your mom on my phone, and I see that I shot your love. I put it on the line, that's what I got. I recall it all. I'm taking Tylenol, and I played the part when I broke your heart. Do you see that I shot your love? And girl, deep down, I've been hiding all of my friends. And girl, chicken lean till them niggas drown. Can you hide my drugs? And why can't we go take a trip down a little road? Baby, I just wanna know, how do we still make love? And you say yes, but I think it's no. Why can't I hold on to your love?
Some bouncy 808 right there.
Yeah. Try to listen to his lyrics.
I've been pulling up and sipping the lean for you. Thinking about you daily in my mind, yes, I fiend for you. Anything for you, yes, I bleed for you. Think about the times you lighted the scene.
Not here, we
Shots
said
at the level was automatic. Girl, you could go and pick a car, you
Very
can
Roddy
have
Ricch
this pain in my
esque.
eyes, barely worth
Yeah.
100 lines. And baby girl, protect your heart and that shot inside. Call the police on me. I committed a first degree. I said I'd be home by 3, but I shot your love. Steady running the road nightly. You said it's best when I'm all alone, and I agree. I'm calling your mom on my phone, and I see that I shot your love. And why can't we go take a trip down a little road?
Sounds distorted.
Baby, I just wanna
Yeah.
know, how do we still make a love?
Is that a master thing?
This is the day we're contemplating. The day my sins are paid me. And this is when it all goes wrong. And they know this is when a nigga goes gone. But this time I will stay. It's the only way. Late at night it gets cold. Traveling along a long road. But now I know that I shot your love. Call the police on me. I committed a first degree.
Decent vocals.
I said I'd be home by 3, but I shot your love. I'm running the road nightly. You said it's best when I'm all alone, and I agree. I'm calling your mom on my phone, and I see that I shot your
What
love.
does Shot Your Love mean?
Good
Call the
question.
police on me. I committed a
That's a
first
catchy
degree.
melody.
I said I'd be home by 3, but I shot your love. I'm running the road nightly. She said it's best when I'm all alone, and I agree. I'm calling your mom on my phone, and I see that I shot your love.
A lot of interesting stuff in the chat. Thanks, guys, for the feedback. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Oh, nice. Well, if you go out of your way to do that, that's cool. Okay, but yeah, that was Caden. Oh no, that was not Caden. Sorry, that was K Suave. Shot Your Love. Josh, any first impressions?
Yeah, I think like definitely the center point. One of the center points here is that bouncy bass, right?
Mhm.
So it's definitely a lot though, and there are examples that you can find like in on radio stuff and pop music that have similar amounts. But it always still strikes me at that level as being just like a little bit too much, right? It's like it's kind of cool though how it like fills up your whole sort of space.
Mhm.
I wonder what this would sound like on bigger speakers with like actual subwoofers, because sometimes it's just like way too much, and you really need to make sure that when you've got that amount of bass in the like audible range, that you don't also have too much in the subwoofer section, because that can be like way too much. So I mean that was cool. I thought despite having a lot of low end, the vocals were like relatively clear. Like they were pretty high on the production quality rung. So yeah, overall, I mean I think it was just a good song. And like I said, that melody definitely grows on you throughout the song. Super
Mhm.
catchy.
Yeah,
So yeah, what do you think?
it was super catchy, and K Suave is like super talented in the vocal melody range, and everything was catchy. I love the harmonies that he came in. This sounded like a step up above from one of the other stuffs that he sends us. And I think it's typically he sends us snippets, and typically the vocals like too loud. But this time it's set pretty well in the mix. I do think that mastering maybe the 808 was just distorting a little bit to where it was just kicking above where it needed to be. But other than that, yeah, this sounded like the most professional thing that I've heard K Suave send us. So that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Shouts out to you, K Suave. You're leveling up for sure. The song itself, like I could tell that he's talented. I could tell that it's just super catchy. The lyrics were just kind of like heartbreaking. I'll do anything for you, girl. And it's just I don't know. I just wasn't super compelled. Like I could tell that he's super talented and he's good at what he does. And I even compared him to like Roddy Ricch, who I like a couple of his songs, but I don't know. Just lately, and it's kind of like with the last song too. It's just I'm really just yearning for people to be like super unique and super different,
Yeah.
and that's hard to ask of people because a lot of people have the same problems, a lot of people have the same struggles, but you know, um, and maybe just my feel of genre is just not with it. But overall, it sounds pretty decent, man. And I think people, there's definitely a lane for it, and people will love it. So vibes, you know, I would say it sounds very professional, with the exception of that kind of clipping that I'm hearing on the kick. So all that being said, probably like 90% of the way there between green and yellow. What do you think?
Um yeah, I think I would probably say the same.
Mhm.
I think some of that stuff is true about, that can feed into vibes, but overall it's definitely like pretty professional sounding. Definitely good for the stuff that he sent us so far.
Mhm.
Content?
Yeah, I kind of already said it about Uniquity. Um, I don't know, like everything else, like sounds solid. I don't know if he made the beat. I don't think he typically does. Um, it's just the Uniquity part. So all that being said, I don't know the lyrics. Hmm, I don't know what "shot your love" means. You said something about committed something in the first degree. Like is that like first degree? I don't think there's just murder, but like first degree, like an offense of, but like what offense? Like, did you do something wrong? Did you cheat on this person? Or it sounded like she was like getting rid of you, but you could do anything for her. Like you said you were coming home late too, so I don't know. Did you like cheat on her? Like I don't know. It just wasn't like super clear on the content, the lyrical content. But like I said, like I think I could see this playing in a club, especially if it's not kind of fixed on the clipping part. So it's like pretty much there. Green is good to go, right? It's not like purple, so it's like 90% of the way there, I think,
Yeah,
as
I
well.
could see that. Um I agree. I mean, I sort of like I don't necessarily always dislike when there's kind of like a unique lyric or like what would that be called? Like a not a catchphrase, but the main lyrical theme of the
Hmm.
song, right?
Yeah.
Like when there's and it's the
Oh,
title,
the
you know what I
hook.
mean?
Hmm.
Well, it's usually in the hook, but when there's like a phrase, right?
Hmm.
That's like sometimes the title and it's used throughout, and then towards the end, you're like listening to it and you're like, I'm still not really sure what that actually means, but it's sort of like I haven't necessarily heard that phrase before. And so it just makes the song like stand out a little bit or maybe be a little bit more memorable in some ways, especially
Hmm.
when you hear it like more than once. And then you start digging into it and you're wondering like what it actually means. So um, yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I think the uniqueness could maybe feed into content, the sounds that you're using, and that kind of thing. But overall, I would give you like probably an 80-85% for content.
Hmm. True, true. And
And
then production. Only Broly, by the way. Yes, there's a genre. No, I mean, no, there's a genre that you can't set in. You can set any genre. Um, anyways, production. Yeah, the only comment I had was just the clipping on the kick there. Don't want that to happen. Um, vocals sounded good, sat pretty well. Um, again, that's like a 85%, 90. Um, it's a pretty quick fix too. So, What about you?
Yeah, the distortion on the bass thing. So that's I think really what it is when you have a bass element like that, like an 808 especially, that you want to be super present. And like an 808 is not far by on its own, like an unprocessed 808, not far from a sine wave, right? This is a non-complex waveform that was created in the early days of synthesis, so it couldn't be a complex waveform. And that generally means that there's less high frequencies, right? Because if you're playing a super low note, it's going to be like a sine wave at the most basic level. And then if you want to add timbre to it, you have to add like higher frequencies that play along at the same time. And then eventually you get a complex waveform. But this is not that. Or an 808 normally is not that. In order to make an 808 more audible in a mix, if it's only that super low note, it's not going to be super audible because that's very low in your hearing spectrum. So what you have to do is make it more complex. Introduce more of those upper harmonics, right? And you see what we're getting at with the upper harmonics thing? Distortion. The one of the main ways to get more out of stuff like that, and I was talking about like when a mix is like super mid scooped, adding in a little bit of saturation, because saturation will take the low content and it'll sort of bleed it up the harmonic series, right, throughout your mids and into the highs, and just sort of fill things out a little bit, right? Sort of like adds a little bit of texture, obviously. So, I mean, with the 808 here, this is a common technique that's used, is adding saturation or distortion to a very basic low end element, right? So like 808s are like the main culprit for that. And it can be used really well. Like you often need to use it in order to get the 808 to come across properly. But you can also go too far. So that can happen if you are compressing too much, and that creates a type of distortion, or if you're just saturating too much or adding too much actual distortion. You're trying to get that 808 to be even more loud and present than it is before. I think what we were getting at here is that you've maybe gone like a little bit far on the 808 here. You could probably, take it back a little bit and make up for that with some of the sub bass. I prefer when it's well balanced between the low end of the spectrum and the sort of saturation and the rest, and a sub bass component. And usually they're somewhat separated because, for a lot of reasons. But yeah, that's my suggestion there. I think other than that, again, your vocals sound good. Nothing really stuck out to me too much as being like weird or wrong. It sounded professional. So production, I would give it like an 80 or 85% probably there.
Yep. Mr. McChicchino, yes, you may ask for feedback on a beat. Do the command submit, and we have a form. If you could fill it out, that'd be awesome. I'll do that there. But other than that, man, I think it's pretty much there. This is 95% good to go for me. Congratulations on the release. Proud to hear that you actually released something instead of sending us a snippet. Super cool. And yeah, best wishes, K Suave.
Track total, I would give it 85, 90% probably.
Yep. Cool. All right. So there's K Suave. Shall we go next?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, let's see. Rio, Beats by Rio. Song title's called IDK. It's a finished release. All right. Let's see it. No description. It sounds like it's going to be a typo. Let's see. On the low.
Spotify, SoundCloud, Autoplay.
Stupid 99. Are you ready to listen to it, Josh?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. On the low. Rio, cook it up. 3, 2, 1. It's going to be drill.
Sauce that shit up.
Oh. Yeah. This is dark sounding. Dude, this is like fucking chop and screw fucking.
What is that sample? It sounds familiar.
3 6 Mafia.
Oh,
I don't know. It sounds like 3 6 Mafia or Suicide Boys even.
it's something early 2000s hip hop to me.
chopped and screwed era. But yeah, that was fucking sick. I love
Yeah,
that.
that was cool.
That's fire.
All right, what are your impressions?
Like I said, 3-6 Mafia type, Suicide Boys type, fucking hard was, or excuse me, beat was super hard. I love it. Was like also weird. Like there's like the little bongo that's in it, like the thong thong. I don't even know if that's a bongo. Um, and then there's like a harmonica too that just sounds kind of sinister, kind of spooky, like his profile picture there. But yeah, it was just like cool, hard hitting, kind of reminiscent of a 3-6 style, but also just like interesting elements that make it its own. I thought that was really solid. I loved it. What did you think?
Yeah, no, I thought it was. I mean, it had me smiling, which is
Hmm.
always a good thing in the vibes department.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily like my primary genre, so I don't have as many references to go off of with it.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it just definitely sounds like it has a lot of. I was like wondering where that sample comes from. It sort of feels like it has like a history of its own, and then it was integrated well into the beat, and man, just like it grooves throughout.
Hmm.
Um, I don't really have much else to say other than that. I think I would give it like a 90% or just good to go on vibes.
Yeah, vibes for me is pretty much good to go, man. I turn that shit on and I'm slapping it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
Agreed.
content. Let's see. Pretty similar too, except I don't know if there's an added verse there. What does this comment say? This is fire. Okay, it's just fire. I don't know if "Stupid 99" is the sample originally, or if that's like the rapper that you put on later. If that's a rapper, then I think the beat's kind of just eating up a little bit. He has the kind of delivery I'm looking for. It's just in terms of the presence, and that might be more of a production type thing. Um, just having him kind of more up front and kind of on display instead of the production. That'd be kind of helpful. Uh, but also in this kind of genre, especially like the way the sample's done it, you could hear it. It's just kind of um, the vocals aren't really supposed to be too upfront like a traditional song, something like K Suave did just previously. It's supposed to be, I don't even know what effect they put on it, but it's just
Yeah.
like chorused and like
Yeah. Something.
yeah, something like that. But you know, uh that's like a small kind of thing. I don't know what the hell he was talking about because I was just vibing to the beat, so I can't really comment on that. But I mean, nothing sounded whack or out of place, so it's decent. I would say what 85%, 90% on content. The beat by itself, man, it's pretty much 100%. I love that shit. That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the beat and the way things are strung together is really good.
Hmm.
Did feel like it felt a little bit sparse to me, sort of like after it ended. I'm like, what was the central like point, right? Like, what was
Yeah,
the central thing?
yeah,
Uh, you've got a few things going on throughout, but I just don't know which one's like the focus or like what we're supposed to be listening to. Even though it is fun to listen to, I'm like, what was the point, sort of? So that could maybe be with just like organization or what samples you're using or making them a little bit more audible, maybe, or just like I don't know, like something about the structure or like where you're using which samples for your like vocal elements, right?
hmm,
But yeah, I would give it probably an 80% for content.
hmm, true. Production,
Yeah, production again, nice low end, nice drums.
nice low end.
I thought again those vocal samples probably could have come out a little bit more.
Hmm.
But other than that, it grooves.
Yeah, slaps.
Hmm.
That's the thing. I don't know. Like, is this a type beat? Is this a person that's rapping on it? Are
Yeah,
you
I
trying to
can't
sell it?
tell.
Like, what's happening? Like, that would
Not
help me inform a little bit. But
not clear.
yeah. I mean, the beat wise, man, like it sounds fucking solid as shit.
Hmm.
The only thing I have is that second vocal there. I wasn't sure if it's supposed to be like kind of chopped and screwed and just in the background just to supplement the beat, or if it's supposed to be like the main vocal. So, if it's the main vocal, I'd kind of push it up front a little bit, give a little bit of space for it to breathe, and the beat. Um, kind of frequencies where it needs to be. But other than that, like solid as fuck. 90% greeny yellow for an overall pretty much 95% green. I fucking love this a lot, man. Like, throw on a decent verse, like this could be a purple for me for easily. But yeah, or a
Yeah,
memorable verse. But
I'll give it like 85, 90. I do wish that it felt a little bit more focused, and I sort of knew what it was like trying to be or supposed to be.
For
But
sure.
it's a good listen. Yeah.
Yeah. Solid listen for sure. Good job, Rio. That was crazy.
Nice.
IDK, he says. All right, so Ronnie Gare, Lil High. The song title is called hashtag 2022 on top. What is that?
All right. He's gonna be on top in 2022.
Okay. Oh no, this looks like a fucking meme, bro. You see this
It better
fucking
not fucking be.
album art? No, that's fine. Like
Let's
whatever.
see.
Lil High,
Oh
Gare.
damn, dude, that's fucking awesome.
It's a work in progress. I don't know
Wow,
what is going on here. Call of
a
Doritos,
lot,
Advanced Warfare,
a lot of things.
MLG, Brazzers. Oh right. Okay, let's see. Hashtag 22 on top. Lil High, you ready?
I love the like 2011 Twitter logo. That's
Yeah.
throwback in itself there.
There's a lot of detail here.
Yeah.
But all right. 22 on top, Lil High. 3, 2, 1.
Oh my god. No, religion. My dick is a model, take a peek. Suck it on it fast till I cream. Kid keep on sending shots till his booty drop. Kid Kevin get the dick and he go
What?
ha ha. I cannot fuck with you, you in the wrong
Okay.
position. Can you switch it? Hockey giving thoughts like he's a mathematician. I got that K like I'm a baker, I need some assistance. Dick don't miss, you could ask some people who got some feathers. I got my
Fucking
car on your pot,
gunshot.
I'm gon' cream boy. Bitch, I'll get annoyed if you ain't inside of my jeans, boy. Dick will be a servant, I'll do anything you need, boy. Come on your shoulder, know we having some extreme joy. Girls they ain't about it, the one with dildo still a fucking clicks. Boys got an ass and I'ma stick until it fucking drips. Only thing I fuck a EDPs, he gon' eat the
Gross.
tip. My dick it don't do talking, it be fucking with my consent. My dick is a model, take a pee. Suck it on it fast till
My
I
dick is a
cream.
model, take a pee.
Kid keep on sending shots till his booty drop. Kid Kevin get the dick and he go ha ha. I can't fuck with you, you in the wrong position. Can you switch it? Hockey giving thoughts like he's a mathematician. I got that K like I'm a baker, I need some assistance.
Dude, that
Dick
fucking-
don't miss, you could ask some people who got some feathers. I got my car on your pot, I'm gon' cream boy. Bitch, I'll get annoyed if you ain't inside of my jeans, boy. Dick will be a servant, I'll do anything you need, boy. Come on your shoulder, know we having some extreme joy. Girls they ain't about it, the one with dildo still our fucking clicks. Boys got an ass and I'ma stick until it fucking drips. Only thing I fuck a EDPs, he gon' eat the tip. My dick it don't do talking, it be fucking with my consent.
Oh my.
2022 on top.
You know, I was gonna make a joke about being on top, and I didn't realize it was gonna be the actual song.
Bro, I just got recommended a Toad Milk song.
A what?
In related tracks. It says Toad Milk.
Oh,
Toad Milk, is this you? I don't know. Or do you know this person?
interesting.
Yeah, Toad Milk, low self concept.
Well, look at the color schemes. Look at the background of the profile photo and the album art.
Maybe.
Maybe some detective work there.
But that was 2022 on top. That was a fucking meme song.
Yeah.
Some of the delivery though is it's kind of fire. I liked the what is it? What is it? My dick is like a model P. P. I
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
I didn't
It's
even
catchy.
hear what that part was.
Oh, okay.
Dude, like the chorus is so unexpected and funny the first time around, and then so disgusting the second time.
Yeah.
Right? Like the first time it catches you off guard, and then you hear it again, you're like, oh, I never wanted to hear that again though.
Mhm. Yep. That's why I was like, dude, I'm done with this. Like,
Yeah, the second time it's so amazing how repetition works sometimes, where like the first time was funny, like fucked up but funny, and the second time was like, get me out of here.
yeah. Yeah.
So
I
interesting.
agree.
Should we let's just go through the categories if we can? I
Yeah.
mean, vibes.
I mean, how
yeah,
do I even judge this? Like, how do I even judge this?
how do you judge a meme, right?
Yeah. How does one judge a meme? Yeah. I don't know. It didn't sound like this for what it is. Like, fuck it. I don't even know how to judge this seriously.
I mean, what happened like chronologically for me was the beginning, like it sounded okay, and then the drop came in, and I was like, fuck, because I hate when drops sound like that. When like you think something interesting might happen, and then it's like literally the most common denominator of drop ever. That's
Mhm.
always constantly used. People don't do it as much anymore, but like even up until like 3 years ago, that
Mhm.
drop was so common.
Mhm.
Millions of songs have the same exact thing.
Mhm.
And like and it's also where the drop comes in and its volume, including the drums, is lower than like the intro swirl thing. That's like that ticks so many pet peeves for me. But then so I was mad for like a split second, and then the lyrics came in. I was like, oh, it's a meme, right?
I knew, dude. I looked at this shit. This is gonna be a meme from the
Well,
get go.
you know, I mean, yeah, usually that is the case. You never know if somebody's just got funny album artwork and then they're going to have a good track that's funny in a different way. But the production in itself also was kind of like part of the joke, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was
exactly.
like, okay, that's fine. You get a pass this time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, I mean, like all that being said, I don't even know how to judge this seriously. It's like, yeah, it made me laugh in the beginning, but then like I would have skipped this. I could see this like on TikTok, like doing like the first part of it and be like, oh, listen, putting this song on my friend react, whatever, blah blah blah. But much after that, I don't know. Like
Yeah.
vibes, pretty much what maybe 50 between green and yellow. Like I don't know how to freaking rate this. What do you have?
I don't even I kind of just want to give them like wild card scores. Like I
Yeah, I was gonna
honestly
say
feel like
brown or white, or like take your
oh
color,
god.
choose your
Let's
imagination.
just how about just no color? Like
Okay.
just like
All right, I'm gonna
um
give this a Mountain Dew, for sure. I'll do that. Code Red, Mountain Dew, Code
Code
Red.
Red Mountain Dew,
Yeah,
okay, on the vibes. I'll agree with that. I think content okay, first of all, I've said everything I can about this already, so I'm
yeah,
not even going to like comment anything else. Content is Doritos for sure.
yeah. Gonna be what is that? Cool Ranch for sure.
Cool
Cool Ranch
Ranch.
Doritos. Yeah.
Mhm.
Production. I like the beat. Like I would love to just like freestyle off of that, but I wouldn't have. Well, cross my fingers. I wouldn't have nearly the amount of struggle bars that was in this song. But let's see. What else could we have? What's another brand? The Pornhub Orange. I don't fucking
You
know.
know,
Get
I
me out of
don't
here.
the
Just get
one
me out of
thing
here.
the one thing that I don't think
Let's
is a
go
brand,
next.
that marijuana leaf, and is that a logo or is that just like they Google a picture of a weed leaf?
Yeah, and then they didn't take out the background. All right,
Yep.
that's a
All right.
marijuana leaf without a background for me.
There you go. That's a
For a
top tier
total.
track though, right?
Nope.
All right. Well, we can't do it if we don't have both votes. So sorry.
Yep. Sorry, a little high. You were there, but
A little
it's
high.
it's nice to get a meme every now and
All
again.
right.
It's
You
good
have a
stuff.
career in memes ahead, if not
Yeah.
already.
All right, Lauer. This is an interesting one because we don't know if this is the actual person.
Strange bar. We had more than we had ones before from Lauer.
Yeah. Because they have a pretty big following. It's like not sure if they would be the people that is submitting to us, but if they are, like that'd be crazy. And we asked this person if it is them, we'd love to hear more about you and like how you got up that big because some of the stuff that you're doing is like incredible. Sounds great. All right, so something that is not normal for me. Album name is Irregular Nation. Strange Bar. It's a finished release. Oh, Yakucho. What?
Oh shit!
Yakucho is Lauer?
What?
What?
What do you? What?
Are you here? Yakucho, if you're here, let us know. What the fuck?
That's confusing.
All right. I mean, here it is. Strange Bar, Yakucho, Lauer. You ready, Josh?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yakucho is a friend of the stream. All right, 3, 2, 1. What the fuck?
Nice.
That's crazy.
That's Spitfire audio again.
Spitfire, you said?
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, this sounds professional as shit. Just like Persona 5 music or something.
Ooh, that's cool.
Straight jazz. What?
Holy shit!
Did not expect that at all. It's almost
Dude! Sick. It's like Anomaly.
Kids those days were all mechanical. And in brilliant, lifelike colors.
Bruh. It's so
Sick. Great ending there too.
Dude, what the hell? There's such a skilled blending of live instrumentation that it's hard to do. Brass and
Whew.
drums and shit
God damn.
with the fucking just tight ass production on the cone sound kind of EDM breaks that's going on. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Super
Wow.
cool. Yakucho, is this you? This is crazy.
Yeah, this is insane.
I did not know that if that's you. If it's not, I don't know. Stop it. But I mean, but thank you also for sending to us because it's just cool. Man, I don't have much to say in terms of criticism. But vibes, like, it just blends jazz. I forgot who I was thinking about. There's an artist in particular, when I think jazz EDM, that I forgot who it is. It's not called Clash. I don't think it's called something else. But do you know who I'm talking about by chance, Josh? Do you have any recollection of a jazz EDM artist?
Um,
Um,
I might know a few. I mean, jazz
just
EDM.
name
Oh,
a couple off.
there was one thing that sounded a little bit like Anomaly to me.
Anomaly. I don't know that.
Yeah, Anomaly is like this French
Damn.
Canadian or just Canadian dude, I think. With some really cool like piano parts with a bunch of like breaks and stuff, and it starts off really like jazzy and then it goes into this crazy stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
there are other ones like man,
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Juju Exchange. I don't know if that's really
I don't know.
EDM though. It's more jazz.
I don't know.
There's stuff out there for sure.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I have the fucking band name on the tip of my tongue. I just have the album art in my head. I don't know who it is, but if I would say that it would fit here. But yeah, I mean, Lauer, this was crazy. You have a masterful blending, I think, with maybe some things sound just like inherently like how the fuck are you gonna put this together? Like you have this kind of like like jazz piano like solo going on, and everything else sounds acoustic, and then you put in that snare that's just so like like so fucking drum machine sounding, and it just it clashes there automatically, but it, like I don't know how else you can make it any kind of smoother. So um maybe like look into replacing the drum build up to be something else or a little more gradual. But other than that, it still sounds really masterful. Like I don't know have much to say about it, but we'll go by the topics here. So Green for me and vibes, like I think musicality it's just insane. The jazz licks that are going on is incredible. You keep up that super sweet jazzy bass line and during the bass drop there, it sounds very cone soundish, and I'm a big fan of cone sound here. So yeah, it sounded great. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I thought it was just like super cool the way you dovetailed all these sections together, just linked them together.
Mhm.
Like some really cool smooth transitions there. Um I mean there's more stuff in content and production, but for vibes, really cool vibes. Made me smile throughout the song. Great listen, lots of
Bop.
energy. Yeah, I would give it like a 90% good to go.
Yeah. Um, content. Uh, similar. Like most of it's very very good, and God, dude, the drum work is insane. I love that shit
Yeah,
from the
that was
beginning
crazy
to the end. Like it was
throughout.
just as a drummer, like just
Mhm.
beautiful. But I did just mention the snare transition when it goes to the more of the EDM part. If it could just be a little bit more, kind of blended, this kind of sounds jarring in the mix. But even then, like it sounds pretty decent. Other content things, nah, I was pretty entertained the whole time. I was bopping my head the whole time. I think it was decent. Pretty much, I'll say 90% good to go. It's pretty much there. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean the I might have mentioned it at the beginning, but I when those brass parts were exposed, when they were not sort of more buried in the mix of other stuff going on,
Hmm.
I sort of immediately felt like they were a little bit artificial,
Yep.
um, especially
You
at the
felt it
beginning.
was the Spitfire plugin or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, because I thought it was Yakucho, but maybe it was somebody else who said that they use that, and it can be used really well. Like that's one of the lead plugins for like brass and symphony orchestral sounds, right? But if
Hmm.
you don't tweak it a lot, it still won't sound necessarily super realistic. So
Hmm.
yeah, I just felt a little bit like that, and this is more production, but I'll just say it now. I thought there's a little bit too much like room reverb uh on those like brass synth parts. Like I sort of know what you're trying to go for in like making that stuff sounds super like classy, like super like 40s, 50s or whatever, with a little bit of that room sound. Like whenever you're at like a Maggiano's or like a lot of Italian restaurants, like chain Italian restaurants, they'll play stuff like that. They'll play like a lot of Sinatra, right? And there's a lot of that the really bigness to the brass and like symphony sections because they're recorded live, and a lot of those are like live at venues, those recordings, so the acoustics are not well controlled, but it gives this like nostalgic feel. So I think that might be what you're going for, but it doesn't sound totally natural, and it's a little bit too in our face. It's too much of that room reverb sound. So again, maybe more production, also related to the sounds themselves. um, but overall the content, the arrangement is fantastic. It's amazing. So
Bro, I found the artist. Sorry, I just realized I interrupted you.
you've oh, okay.
Caravan Palace.
Huh, interesting. Haven't heard of them.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
But
but
anyways,
content, I would give it again a 90% to good to go.
yeah.
Really cool.
Um, I already mentioned the production stuff that I mentioned, and I can agree with Josh that uh, the brass did sound a little bit synthetic, um, and maybe not even that. Like in the beginning, when it was just like the jazz stuff and not any of the EDM stuff, I literally thought this could be like in a Japanese like role playing game. I'm not sure.
And
Like specifically comes to mind as a Persona series. I've never played it, but a lot of my friends do,
hmm,
and like they show me the music from it, and it's like all these intense like jazz melodies that go like absolutely crazy, like just filled up the piano roll with all this type shit. It's like and like I just feel like that's what's happening here, um, and like it's really believable that it could be in that kind of setting. So if you're looking for a job there, like man, submit the music to some game makers. They'd love to make it use it for sure. Um, that being said, when it gets to the drop part, when it's both of them, and like the brass will splash in here and there, um, melodically everything sounds like great. um, theory wise, and just it's catchy. It sounds good. The bass line is bumping, but it's a weird contrast between that super synthetic sound and then the super kind of realistic sound. And as Josh said, uh, a realistic sound trying to sound more real with like a room verb on top. So I'm not sure how to exactly blend that. Maybe just kind of make it obvious that it's a sample more so than it's a weird in between with a synth and a synthy kind of sound space versus like a realistic sound space. Like typically people I hear like put like a telephone effect on it, for example, on the melody that's playing over top of the EDM place. But I don't know. It's kind of a stylistic choice. Everything else, man, I think you're a better producer than I am, so I can't say much. I think it sounds really great. I would say 95% for production. What do you think?
Yeah, I think again, just as far as the sound choice go, I agree with what you said about the sort of balance between the syntheticness, but the synthetic brass trying to sound real, and then along with the obviously synthetic electronic part. I love the idea of like having that super organic, like way throwback brass section thing mixed with the EDM. It's a super like sort of recombinatory, innovative idea. But there is a little bit of that cognitive dissonance with knowing that it's not real, and then it's like it's a lot of synthetic basically. So I would say either choose one or the other, make it sound super realistic and find a way to fit that up against the EDM part, or fit it more to like EDM brass where we're getting the style of the brass section, the Sinatra thing, whatever you want to call it, but we it fits more. The sonic element of it fits better with the rest of the song. So other than that, I mean, I thought it was really really cool. I would give it probably an 80, again like an 85-90% on production. And then for track total, we can't hear you anymore, Chris.
Sorry, I was blowing my nose.
Oh.
I wanted to be not rude. I even turned up my camera. Track total. Oh, it's so good, man. Like, if this is Yakucho, this is insane. Like, you got me
Yeah.
smiling, Yakucho. If it's not you, then thanks for showing us good music. But fuck, man.
Yeah, dude,
Um,
I'm trying to
sounds
figure it out because look, I don't know if Yakucho is Lauer.
right.
I mean, I was trying to do a little bit of research here, and like Lauer 1200, you gave us their Twitter handle has like 54,000 Twitter followers, and then I did a little
Dude.
search, and there's a tweet from 2019 that has the words "irregular nation" in it, and it talks about something with a mix and master.
Uh-huh.
So this is clearly like it's either that Yakucho is Lauer, and this is from a while ago,
Oh,
or Yakucho just likes Lauer and I don't know why sent us a song to listen to from them, or they like remixed it or something. I don't know what happened, but
wait. What's irregular nation?
that's in the description.
Uh-oh. Hello, hello, Josh.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry, you cut out for a little bit.
In the description, they said that's the album.
Oh,
It's
okay. I didn't
something
even
that
see
is
that.
not normal for me. Album name is Irregular Nation,
Ah,
in
I see.
caps. So I just can't tell like if that's
I don't know.
not.
Let us know. Hit us up from that verified Twitter account.
'Cause, I mean, honestly, like throughout some of this, there are a couple of those like minor flaws that we talked about.
Mhm,
Some of which are like maybe kind of important, but the overall like thing that was happening, like this the vision here, right?
mhm.
And most almost
Execution.
all of
Yeah.
the execution too are
Yeah.
so good. It was piquing my top tier track instinct a little bit.
Woo!
But I don't think we can give a top tier track if we don't know if it's actually the person who's submitting it.
Yep.
That's kind of an issue.
Lauer, let us know if you hit us up from your Twitter account, verified and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have a Twitter, but
Um,
somehow
show us
Instagram maybe.
proof.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Instagram.
just on Instagram if yeah.
It's a good pivot. Follow us on Instagram, FastTrack_music. Lauer, if that's you, please DM us. And if that's the case, I'm more than willing to put this as a top tier track. It was crazy.
Yeah. So let us know. To be continued.
Yeah.
But yeah, really really cool shit. I'm glad that we ended off on this one.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't realize it's 7:40 already.
Yeah, I know.
So, all
Over
right,
time.
guys, that's enough for it. Thank you for all the feedback about our feedback. It's a learning process. We thank you for submitting. If, like we said, if you do submit, we will get to you eventually. And we're getting to the point where we actually have to think about managing this queue a little bit more. So that being said, we still have people on the queue. We have Zoxa, we have Arinity, we have Id Shear, we have Yordnads again, Carl Birkin, Toad Milk, Blastique, and Mr. Chiquino. I think we banned Birkin though, so I don't know. We'll talk about it. Um,
Yeah.
but other than that, like maybe we'll try to get a faster format or get some sort of way that people that are here now um, can get voted. Maybe we get the audience to vote. That might be an interesting thing. But yeah, just stay tuned. If you have any ideas, let us know. Hit us up. But appreciate you guys for real.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Anything else,
Dope.
Josh?
Nope. I think that should be it. Thanks again, everyone, for showing up, sending your music. Love hearing all of it every week. Always something new. Hope we're able to be helpful in giving some feedback so you guys can make your stuff the best it can be, reach the most number of people in your audience. And we will see you again soon. Looking forward to more of it. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your Friday. You made it. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. I
And
feel like you're talking to me.
yes, Chris, you have a great weekend too.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I made it. Okay.
All right.
All right, y'all. Have a good weekend. Peace.
Peace out.
Bye.
Just need to clear my mind. Just need a little more time. In with the new, out with the old, but so unsure what the future holds. Regretting the love I once had. Memories are good, but feeling bad. Just need
slow.